Hidden DNA Flips in Songbirds, presented by Thomas Bowman. Hidden DNA changes in songbirds. So today I'm going to summarize a fascinating paper by Teresa Pagan and Benjamin Winger that looked at something called inversion polymorphisms in songbirds. Don't worry, this sounds complicated, but it's actually fairly simple. So first, imagine that you have a long string of DNA, sort of like a sentence. Now imagine cutting out a piece of that sentence and flipping it backwards. That's an inversion, the same letters, just in reverse order. The researchers of this study hypothesized that large DNA inversions are widespread in birds, even when there are no physical traits showing them. These flips can sometimes cause big differences in appearance or behavior, like changing feather color or migration patterns. Scanning bird genomes for hidden flips. To find out, the researchers studied 35 different bird species that live across North America's northern forest, species like warblers, sparrows, and flycatchers. They collected DNA from over 1,600 individual birds and scanned their genomes using computer tools that can detect places where DNA looks flipped. Instead of picking species with obvious physical differences, they focused on birds that looked the same everywhere. This way, if they found inversions, it would mean that big genetic changes can exist even when animals appear identical. Hidden DNA flips are everywhere. This figure shows the main results of the study and helps explain how these DNA flips are spread across songbirds. In panel A, the map shows where the birds were sampled across North America. Each color dot represents a different sampling site, from Alaska to eastern Canada. Panel B compares how different the DNA was between the birds that lived close together versus those who lived far apart. These lines are mostly flat, meaning that the DNA flips aren't limited to one region. They're spread pretty evenly across the continent. Panel C shows that these flips are common within populations. Each bar shows how frequent the flipped DNA version was, and you can see many are around half and half, meaning that the flips are balanced, not rare. Finally, panel D shows the physical sizes of these DNA flips. Most are very large, often covering millions of DNA bases, and some are shared across different species. Altogether, the data in this figure shows that large DNA inversions are widespread, common, and ancient in North American songbirds. What these hidden flips tell us about evolution. So what does all of this mean? It shows that evolution works in more subtle ways than we might think. We usually look for visible differences like colors, shapes, and behaviors. But this study proves that huge genetic differences can exist quietly beneath the surface. These DNA flips might not cause visible traits, but they can still influence how species adapt or survive in changing environments. The big takeaway is that even when birds look the same, their DNA can tell a completely different story. Pagan and Winger's work reminds us that evolution isn't just about what we see, it's also about the invisible changes shaping life at the genetic level. Thank you for watching.